You're letting me go? So that's it after 20 years. So long, good luck?
I don't recall saying good luck.
Are you tired of drinking alone, or worse, with boring people? Hi Minnesota, I'm Meme McGill, and do you want to experience the kind of atmosphere where the drinks flow as freely as the gossip? Then come on down to Stoney's in Rockville, Minnesota. At Stoney's, we don't just serve drinks, we serve connections. Some legal, some not so much. Need a spot to discuss your latest scheme, or just want to unwind after a long day of avoiding responsibilities? Well then come on down to Stoney's, where the drinks are cold and the secrets are spicier than our famous Ultimate Bloody Marys. Whether you're planning your next big hustle or just looking for a good time, Stoney's is the place to be. We've got pool tables, karaoke nights, and the only thing more colourful than our drinks is our clientele. Hey look, you didn't hear this from me, but did somebody say $2 cans on Thirsty Thursdays? Why settle for ordinary when you can have extraordinary? At Stoney's Bar, every night's a wild card, and the house always wins. Unless you're buying the next round. Just remember that what happens at Stoney's stays at Stoney's. Well, that is until the next town hall meeting. Just check out all of our testimonials. Stoney's Bar, Rockville, Minnesota. How's it going, guys? How's it going? We have an update episode. If you remember last time, we had TV's Will Heron, and he had a mysterious stranger, this concerned citizen. Now, concerned citizens need not apply to go to Stoney's in Rockville, Minnesota. But Nick has decided to share a bit of his side of the story. Now, it's a bit of theory craft on my point, but I think that this woman has decided to come forward and show who she is and talk about her her involvement at Kayla's hearing because Nick was threatening to dox the entire video. And in fact, he was spending all day in Melton's stream, the onion guy that's obsessed with Aaron's children, just talking and chatting to people. And then he eventually sent this to Melton, which they then showed it on the show. Now, we'll get into that in just a second. The entire saga as it unfolded. But there is a bit of a funny little update. And that is, and this isn't very much of a big deal, but it is worth mentioning. Breaking Baldo News reported yesterday, or like 2 days ago, I guess. Kiwi Farms users have discovered that Rekieta isn't just a non-practicing lawyer. He's now longer a lawyer. Now, this isn't quite true, but he can see they're authorized to practice law, not authorized. And why is that? It's because to remain being a lawyer in Minnesota is you have to pay your fine, you have to pay the toll, it's not tax-free, and you have to keep up with your learning credits. Now, is this a big deal? Not especially, but it is very, very funny because Nick has said things like this in the past. Let's take a look. Make sure I'm unmuted. I'm unmuted and everything.
I don't go to.
There we go. The first part's muted. It's fine.
I don't go to court. I don't represent clients. I don't want to. I'm a broadcast personality, but I maintain my license because I worked for it. I worked fucking hard to get that license. That's why I preserve it. That's it. That's the sole reason. I don't need it to do YouTube. I don't need it to do Odyssey. I could put my license in inactive status right now.
Which is where it is now.
Say, when I decide to come back to practicing law, I'll reactivate my license. But right now, I really like broadcasting. No, I maintain an active status because I fucking worked for it. I sacrificed time with my family. I sacrificed time with my leisure. I sacrificed time with my hobbies. I sacrificed employment. I did everything.
Well, I mean, this is such a non-thing to say. So it's like, I went to school so I could get a better job, and I sacrificed my free time. That's how everybody does it. Oh my God. You sacrifice time with your hobbies. Oh my goodness. I went to university. I sacrificed time with my hobbies. I lost employment. Now, I think the only job he had before being, well, I mean, he jumped around from like banks and things like that. But he basically had like a $27,000 a year job at Wells Fargo or something before his trust fund put him through night school or whatever, so he could go become a lawyer at the second to worst law school in the country. But to be fair, there is a Supreme Court justice that came from that school. So like when you say, like, this is a nice speech, but literally everybody sacrifices their time with their family, their friends to accomplish things in their life. That's why it's hard. Like, it's worth doing, but it's hard. But he didn't even pay for it himself. He went through the trust fund thing. let's continue this. I'll get to the chats after this segment. But I want to make a point here.
Everything to get this license. You want to take it away from me? Because you.
So this is, if you're missing the context here, what happened is Keffels was going after him, and he had that big stream with Duncan MacLeod. I think it was his name, Duncan MacLeod. And people were mass reporting him because he was saying mean things about Keffels. And this was back when Keffels was very, very popular across the internet, or at least on the left-leaning side of the internet.
You lied about what I said about Keffels? You want to take it away? Okay. That's mine. I don't care if I don't play with my toy anymore. You want to take it from me? You better meet a fucking bullet.
Now, Nick has a long-standing trauma of his toys being taken away from him. A teacher stole one of his Transformers, and he's never stopped thinking about it. So this is triggering his PTSD.
Because you try to take my shit, I will fuck you up forever. It's mine. I earned it. I worked for it. I got it. You didn't do shit. You want to employ the professional responsibility office against me? I will sue them into the fucking ground if I have to.
Now, this is what's interesting to me. Is so basically this is just a very easy problem to fix, and he has actually fixed it. So he is now authorized to practice law again. So while he did briefly enjoy the same status that I hold as a non-practicing non-lawyer, it was very funny because it really shows you that it's not your enemies that can really do the most damage to you, it's yourself. And that's exactly what happened in his life. He had a position of privilege, a position of power, a position of respect, and he threw it all away, not because of the people and his enemies that were coming after him. And he has a lot of enemies, trust me. He made a lot of enemies on his rise to the top. But it was ultimately himself, his own weakness, his own temptations that was caused his downfall. So I thought that was very interesting. Now, he did reestablish, yes, he's now authorized to practice law again. But it was a very funny 24 hours. And you know what I think? And if you agree with me, put a 1 in the chat. If you think if you think he was going to renew it anyway, press 2. But I think the only reason he paid for this, because he obviously doesn't care about it anymore. It was never a law channel, right? I think the only reason he did this, he got it fixed by paying the $300 that he still hasn't paid Montegraph, by the way, is that because he got shamed by the Kiwis into doing some actual work for a change. Like, he can't even pay his property taxes. His dad had to do it for him. But I guess this is the one thing that he had to pay for himself. But let's say that person on the Kiwi farms didn't make this post, I think 100% it would still be inactive because he just doesn't care. He just doesn't care anymore. The thing that was so prized and treasured a couple years ago is now worthless. And the only reason you pay to maintain it is to try and get a W over the Kiwis. Now, what's also really funny about this little post that was originally shared by Breaking Baldo News, Rekieta on Twitter, was that Brianna Wu is back to dunk on Rekieta. What the fuck, rekietalaw? How could you defend me against Nintendo if you cannot practice law? The worst people are coming out to get those W's, those easy W's these days. Now, we'll get into these. Let's see these chats. I'll just put this up on the stream. Nia for 3 months says Intrabit was great. Thanks. If you guys like Stonies in Rockville, Minnesota, go try their ultimate Bloody Marys. Very good, very good. I'm going to use my Stonies kickback money to take a trip to Korea tomorrow, which is why this will be the last stream for a couple of days. So get those likes in. If we get to 400 likes, if we hit the goal, then I'll gift 5 free memberships. How about that? And we hit 800, which is probably unlikely. But if we do hit that, then I'll give you another 5. How about that? And Diamonds and Head with a 5 says Stoney's Bar. That was great. Thank you very much. I hope you guys appreciate that. I thought it was fun. It was an excuse to make some Bloody Marys and have a bit of fun and put on my suit, which I very, very rarely wear. Although I do have one, unlike Sargon. So that's good. All right. Oh, you know what I forgot to say? Sorry, we'll be doing the Kalea stream. I forgot to include these tweets. These are 2 that I missed. And that was a couple other messages that Nick sent to Kalea the Vampire. But first of all, we've got this August 31st tweet, which says, I don't judge anyone's faith anywhere. Okay, interesting. Don't judge anyone's faith. The last message he sent to Kalea, how Christian of you, before he blocked her. The block button. It's getting a workout these days. It's getting quite a lot. Kitty says, is this tax-free? The stream is not tax-free yet, but if we get a couple of Red Boys, then it'll go tax-free mode. Who can say? So we can go. Just wanted to add those numbers. I missed them last time. So let's jump into the Melton meltdown on the stream. Now, Nick has been losing control, and it's getting dark. It's getting really dark. I think someone said, no, wait, he was streaming today. Like, he did a stream today. He did a locals stream to about 70 people, 70, 80 people, which are mostly just A-logs at this point. But that's where he goes when he's talking in the kitchen, and everything's always shit. But it was pretty dark. I think the post was entitled announcing it, saying, let's make some dinner and talk about the election. Might be my last one, which is really fucking dark. I mean, maybe it's because he'll be a convicted felon and he won't be able to vote next time. But I think the implication there is that he's going to take he's thinking about taking a trip to Canada, which is something we'll talk about later in the stream. That's his new insult. The nerds thing didn't work, even though he said that the nerds just hate being called nerds. That's just drives them fucking crazy. It didn't work. Everyone kind of embraced the nerd joke. So he started a new thing called Canada. That's his new insult. Like, enjoy your trip to Canada. You can probably guess what that is, but we'll get to it later in the stream, I believe. And Tiny Gray says, with that Stony vid, you've done more work than Nick. Well, I guess so. It did take about 2 hours to make, with filming and everything included. The hardest part was finding the olives, actually, in Japan. But I had a lot of fun. Making it. I think I'll return with that sort of style of editing to make some intros in the future. With like, I'll do some weatherman stuff or something. We're doing the feltoning and the coping, shitstorm alerts, things like that. I think is what I'll do in the next time. All right. So, all messages from Nick Rekieta in Melton / Nobody Likes Onions chat, October 29th, 2024. Now, this is the guy that's obsessed with Aaron's children, and I believe they're going to give him a restraining order. Maybe not. I'm not too interested in seeing what he's doing. But we'll just read this verbatim, basically. It's from Baldur's Gate on the Farms. And he says, Nick Rekieta was present in Patrick Melton's chat, the guy who harasses Aaron's children, and leaked a photo of the spectator in Kayla's hearing to him through DMs to play on screen. The spectator had early claimed that Nick had also sprinted out the courthouse to retrieve his phone and get in a position to stereotypically record. He also appears to have leaked the video of his confrontation with the spectator based on the messages in live chat, but Melton didn't play it then, as far as I can tell. So you can say this. Nick sent a $5 to Nobody Likes Onions, and he said, yeah, want me to send you her picture? Hobgoblins all around. Oh my gosh, hobgoblin. Let's oops, sorry, I spoiled that one, I guess. This is the hobgoblin. This is the hobgoblin in Minnesota. Unlike Nick himself, who is a very reasonable worm-maxing man. Now, this is obviously enhanced by AI. Some people said it was like, no, it's real, factually. No, come on now. It is very funny, though, but this is his real posture. Skinny Nick. I don't know, like, which was the best Nick art? We had good Nick. That well, at least maybe that was a lie all the time. That was the first Nick. We had the young Nick when he really was like streaming back from his actual office. We had the fat Nick, the chunkator. That was a pretty good meme. That was a pretty good arc. I like that one. Then we had Skinny Nick. I think Skinny Nick started to get a bit scary. And now we have Edgelord Nick. Cool Nick, as some people are calling it, but not quite the cool guy that you think he is. But the thing is, it's really interesting to see how he judges these people. Because this is just a regular mum's style body, right? This is like a middle-aged woman, suburban homeowner, probably has some kids, probably takes them to soccer practice, like an absolutely normal person. He's just like, yeah, those hobgoblins are at my court case. Well, he's over here looking like the main character from Disco Elysium. It's like crazy. Like, it's actually really, really funny. Hold on, I'll show you this. We did play Disco Elysium on stream, but at one point, but I know that most people probably didn't know it. If I search for main character, let's have a look. It's actually uncanny. It's actually uncanny how he's slowly becoming this person. If you combine these two pictures, it's getting pretty similar. He just needs to grow that beard out. Look at that. Look at that. Anyway, so Nick is on DMs with Nobody Likes Onions. The video is 30 seconds. DM'd it here. I'm betting this woman calls Kayla and April not attractive. Now, this woman hasn't really said anything about Kayla and April as far as I know. So he's kind of just projecting his own insecurities onto her. It seems like she's just really a fairly normal person. And as we'll go through, because we will watch the new video by Will Heron. And so TV's Will Heron, he's a clipper, but also I guess he's a actual TV reporter. And this woman came, and look, she looks just perfectly fucking normal. Look how clean her house is, unlike some people. I bet her house isn't missing any cabinet doors in the kitchen. But she comes on and talks about her experience. And I think it was largely to diffuse what Nick was doing here, because it seemed like he was setting up threats. You know, seems like he was like, well, you better play ball, or I'm going to start leaking. I'm going to start doxing you. So the woman came out to completely dispower him. And I think that's a problem for Nick, is that he's losing power in his life. You know, and that's where the nerd thing, I think that's where that started from. It's like he's got no control. He's got to listen to his parents. He's got to listen to the government. He can't drink. He can't be the rock star that he thinks he is. So he feels very powerless. And we're quickly approaching the November trial hearing. It will be at the end of the month. I think we have 3 trials, but 2 for Nick. So it's like on the 25th, it's either Kayla's or April's other hearing. And then the 25th will be either the criminal case or the civil case. And then the 27th will be the next one. So it's going to be bam, bam, bam at the end of the month. And then straight into Thanksgiving. So it's going to be, I imagine, a cope storm alert, probably heavy chance of seed localized in the Minnesota region. But we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. So someone in the chat, felted by a Melton fan. She looks disgusted. I would be too if I was in the presence of Creighton Rekieta. Yes, she does look. This is the face you make when a skinny goblin man is taking pictures of you. Oh, I guess he's like a lanklet, isn't he? Was that what you call a lanklet? Let's see. He hasn't leaked anything I've sent. So Melton apparently is a very trustworthy individual source. Look at that. Rekieta refers to Kalea as Quartering's moderator. Is that true? Did she graduate to moderating for the Quartering? But that's Kalea the vampire, the person that linked the DMs with and used to be an ex-moderator and tried to get Nick to get some help. I don't know if this is true or not, but it seems like he blames Jeremy for the leak. Oh my goodness, Quartering the rat. The rat. I didn't leak the DMs. The Quartering's moderator, my former moderator, did. I mean, that's pretty obvious because you can just see which side of the DMs are on. It's like, I don't think anyone pretended that Nick leaked those ones. But he did leak his DMs with Null. So he has no problem. He has no problem leaking DMs. And he also leaked the DMs with Ron Toye, which was very funny. Don't get me wrong. I think the Ron Versations was hilarious. And if there was a funny play on word I could use for Nick in that one, I would. But maybe there's smarter minds than I can come up with something. What do you think? What do you think? This is an interesting one. Aaron jerks off after reading my Kiwi Farms thread. I'm not kidding. Now, Aaron is going to be the target of a lot of very unhinged messages in tonight's reading of the Seed Storm. Also presented without comment. I don't know the context of this one. Didn't want to share it. Somebody wants photos of their face getting licked, which is a very weird thing. It's a very weird spending of $5. Bordeaux Elysium. That's a good one. That's a pretty good one. Rekieta appears to be DMing Melton about sending him a fridge. So I think that's the mini fridge that like Aaron gave. Was it like Aaron gave them a fridge or something, or Nick gave him the fridge? But basically, Nick is trying to buy off his new friend. He's got a new friend, so he's got to pay him money. Because that's the only way that he understands friendship, apparently. I mean, his best friend Drexel's abandoned him, refuses to speak to him. But apparently, sending this fridge, which I think was Aaron's gift to Kayla or something. I think that's what people said. I'm not sure about that. Not 100%. It's by giving it to Melton. Melton will be able to say, "Look, Aaron, I've got your fridge. I've got your fridge." It's a very strange thing, but apparently Melton's getting a free fridge out of it. So I don't know. If a chunky guy like him probably doesn't need another fridge. I'm not sure about the context. Not sure what the fridge is, but I'm pretty sure that's one that they talked about in previously. He's still trying to convince Melton to start a defamation lawsuit against Aaron for accurately claiming Melton has been sexually harassing Aaron's kids. Johnny's saying that he won't sue you, Super Chips. Okay. All right. So let's get into this Will Heron. Will Heron. TV's Will Heron. All right. So this is, I'll just briefly show, want to make sure that everyone's getting their dues. There it is. It is TV's Will Heron on YouTube, about 4,000 subscribers. He's got some good stuff. He does some clipping, similar vein to what Alyssa does. And well, actually, there's a little bit of Alyssa news, I should say as well. But we'll get up to that in a second, I think. We'll get into that out of the video. But he's also been doing this, these reporting and these interviews, which is good. We watched this one before, video Nick at Kayla's omnibus hearing. And then we have this one, the new one, interview with the source. Kay talks about the courtroom. So I found this quite interesting. And it actually talks a little bit about a motivation. It's about 24 minutes long, so I think I'll watch it at 1.25. What is this? Blaze with the two says memes, Sean and the casino at Stoney's. Yes, Stoney's Bar in Rockville, Minnesota. We're going to make it happen. We're going to make Stoney's a thing. All right, so let's get into this. Let me know how the audio sounds.
How did you kind of get introduced to this universe? Are you from the Hackverse? Are you from Law?
So we'll try it on 1.25, but if it sounds a bit weird, then we might go back to regular.
Tube? Are you from the sector? Like, how did you get into this? Or start following
I think it's okay.
So I followed LawTube, like occasionally. It wasn't like every case. I first ran across Nick about 4 years ago when he had Emily D. Baker on for the Toddy Westbrook and Without a Crystal Ball lawsuit.
So it seems like she's just a normal suburban mum type person. Like I said, probably drives kids to soccer practice or something every other day. And looks like she's a LawTube fan, or specifically a true crime fan. And sounds like she was a big Emily D. Baker fan, but then also crossed over into Nick. And that's when she first saw him back at the beginning of his like good guy Nick arc.
And
but it's worth noting that she's not a Kiwi farmer. At least she implies it, or she says that she's not.
He had her on, and I watched the stream. I wasn't particularly a fan, so I didn't watch again. And but you know what's funny is that Without a Crystal Ball, who was part of the lawsuit, actually was in the running for lolcow of the year against Nick. So that's kind of weird circle thing there.
Did you keep following Nick, or was this one of those things where it just popped up and you're like, whoa, I live in the area, I'm from this area? Like,
so after the first initial stream I saw of him 4 years ago, I would occasionally see clips of him floating around, and I'd watch them. I did tune a little bit for the Farron drama.
Of course, a woman would love the Farron drama. No, it was very entertaining arc as well. Even though I quite like Farron, she's all right. I haven't seen her in a while though.
And what other? There was another drama. Oh, the Legal Bites drama. So I watched some clips then, but he really wasn't on my radar much. Yeah, and then when he got arrested, and I saw the clips of that, I got interested because I live close by, and I also can relate to the conditions the kids were living in. I had
Okay, so she goes into some of this is cut out, and she's obviously going to go on to explain it. But it sounds like because I've watched this before, obviously, it sounds like she was in a situation where she was in an abusive relationship, or parents were mistreating her, and drugs were used to control her essentially. So she's from a dark place. She understands probably better than anyone what Nick could be going through and what Nick's children could be going through. And like what she said from the beginning is that she wasn't really a Kiwi farmer. She's not really a drama hound or looking for lolcows, but she has crossed paths with perhaps Kiwi farms in the past as well, just based on her own interests, is that she was kind of just following true crime stuff. And it wasn't until this explosion that this crazy thing just came to the forefront of the news in Minnesota, Nick being arrested with the cocaine and everything else, that she really started following Nick in particular. But she didn't really like his humor or his delivery or whatever it is. So when she described herself as a concerned citizen, she literally was. And Nick was like, no, you're not. You're not a concerned citizen, which is a very strange thing to say, because surely you would be concerned. I think we're all concerned about the environments going over there in the bunker. Is she not a citizen? Is she illegal? What do you mean by that? But she's just like a normal person that saw a train wreck in her backyard in Minnesota and was like, you know what? I may as well just take a look at this because I'm a member of the public and we have an open court system, which Nick has evangelized for. He's very much in favor of the open court system, just not so much when it is his court that's being looked into or peeked into.
Similar kind of childhood, experiencing those kinds of things, living in a disaster, living with instability, no routine, being exposed to things way before you should be exposed to. So it hit close to home in more than one way.
Okay, are you from the area? What kind of brought you?
Well, I don't live exactly in Candy, Ohio, and I hadn't been to Spicer or Wilmer or anything. I did drive through the area once to go camping, but other than that, these are insular communities, small insular communities out here where you stay pretty close to home unless you're going to the cities.
You know what? I just realized that she's one of these Scandinavian prudes that is infesting the church. That must be it, I think.
How's it going, new people in chat? Can we get the likes up? We got 900 people, almost 1,000 people. Can we get to 400 likes? Then I gift 5 free memberships where you can see such great memes like this very untrue and very factually inaccurate picture someone photoshopped of me. I'm not that chunky. Come on now. This is a lie. How dare you do this? You can get more memes like that only in the Discord, which you gain by becoming a member to the channel. Press Tilda says, do you remember Nick's unbreaded bit? How he was joyful about this person's crazy manifest with 10K plus N words. And he was reading it live from live streams. Everyone seems to have forgot it. No, I remember unbreaded. At first, I didn't like unbreaded. And then just something about the word unbreaded, it's a bit of an earworm. So I started enjoying it, but it kind of overstayed its welcome. And I kind of feel bad because like there was a guy that I think that was trying to archive the entire book because eventually Nick would do the entire manifesto. And then this guy was uploading things as the actual verses of the what's the guy's name? Something Harris, right? Something Harris. I forget his last name. What was it? But someone was very dedicated to the bit, and he started his own little website or something, and he was just waiting for the Lord Baldo Master to read the whole book, but it never happened. It never happened. Matthew Harris, that's it. Yeah, thank you very much. How's it going, Max? I saw Max is a Stonies enjoyer himself. I saw him in Stonies.
So I gotta ask, do you know anything about Aaron Imholt? Did you ever follow his stuff?
I didn't until the rest. Yeah,
Oh,
That's the first elder Toe's taken in a long time. It's unbelievable.
okay.
first time I heard of him.
But you've been watching him now, though.
Yes. Yeah, I'm keeping up to date now.
Have you ever been to Stonies?
No, when I went camping, we were really close to Stonies, and if we didn't have our dogs with us, we would have stopped.
Gotta go to Stonies. What are you doing? I like that Will threw that in there. We had a bit of a joke about Stonies in his previous video as well, which was gave me a bit of a chuckle. There's something funny about like just another win for the toe, which and the Stonies memes. I don't know. It's just become a life of its own.
That is like, I want to do like a $20 donation so I can get a gift certificate so I can go to Stonies. I'm dying to go there.
Yeah, that would be cool. Maybe for trial.
Right. Okay. So what made you want to go to Kayla's hearing?
I didn't plan on going. I debated on it for a while. I had other plans come up, and so I wasn't going to go. And then those plans fell through last minute, and I was like, oh, why not? I have nothing else to do today. I had plans, so let's just go ahead and see what it's all about. And I checked out online, and it didn't seem like maybe anybody was going, so I was like, well, maybe I'll find.
So when she says that she checked out, it seems like she is now a Kiwi farmer. I think she does say towards the end of this that she says she's not, but if you say checked out online, who you're talking about, probably just the Kiwi farms. So maybe she's being a little bit disingenuous here, but who can say? Maybe she's like me, like she reads the farms but doesn't have an account. That could be the pretty reasonable state of affairs. I think there's actually quite a lot of unregistered Kiwi readers. And I like that you don't have to register for it. I think that's what Null said, actually, is that he doesn't want to make people forced to sign up because he hates signing up for things. And I do too. I really hate signing up for making up a new password for everything. It's just frustrating. I just want to read the content. Don't make me sign into your app. Don't make me sign into your website. Just let me see the content. Okay. Ray gun. Hopefully not the ray gun from the Olympics with $8 Australian. So it may actually be the one and only ray gun. Cheese and olives with a Bloody Mary. Yummy. Great intro. Thank you very much. Yes. So people seem to be enjoying the Stonies bit. It was up on my Twitter first, but I'll post it on my YouTube later if you want an HD copy of Stonies. Ad read, and I'll be, like I said, I'll be using my Stonies kickback money to take a little bit of a vacation tomorrow, which should be fun.
Out and be, somebody that can clear up what's going on there.
Yeah, definitely, because you physically saw them as you were there. Is this the first Rekieta court hearing that you've been to?
No, I did go to his omnibus hearing too.
Oh, okay, so you think like he recognized you when you were there?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I mean, it was small last time, and then with me being there, yeah. And last time when Ralph did his live stream.
Ethan Ralph of the illustrious Kill Stream. Oh my goodness, that was such a funny little thing when he goes to Minnesota, and the guy comes up and he's like, "Hey, are you Ralph?" And he's like, "No, I'm not Ethan Ralph." And it's like a Toad fan. It's just some random guy taking his kids to school. It was a Toad fan. Holy shit. And then he ducked out of fighting Aaron. What a coward. Unbelievable. But yeah, so she was like there the first time, but she wasn't with the group of the Kiwis. Probably Nick recognized her. So Nick probably came to the assumption that she must be one of the evil Kiwi farmers, even though he said they're all basement dwelling weirdos. It turns out they're all just fucking normal people because, surprise, surprise, most people are normal people, but they like to have a little bit of fun on the internet sometimes. You know, open and free internet where you can just have a bit of a giggle. That's all people want.
Right after he made a comment about they were all Kiwi farmers, maybe possibly one reporter, local reporter. I assumed he might have met me as being the possible local reporter. I don't know. But yeah, there wasn't enough people there last time for him not to recognize me.
What was it like seeing Ralph there last time?
It was weird. He was the first person I saw when I came up the stairs and turned the corner into the hallway. And he looked me up and down, and I could see the wheels turning in his head. Like, who is, like, sizing me up? Like, who is she? What's she here for? All of that. And yeah.
He was obviously thinking about if he wants her to star in his next home movie. That's probably what Ralph was. The old hamster wheel was working around his mind, looking for a third baby mama.
It was.
Did he smell? That's my question.
I didn't know about him until right before the hearing itself, and I was like, okay, who's this guy that's coming that I'm hearing about? Like, and looked into that.
What was that like?
Yeah, I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to expect with him being there.
So
I wish, like, I'm gonna have to criticize Will as a reporter because he did not ask the follow-up question: how tall is Ralph? That was the go-to. That was the kill shot question we needed from this interview. That's if this would have been a 10 out of 10 interview if he had just asked that question, but unfortunately we didn't. I mean, Ralph's not real Ralph, but one of my favorite Ralph impersonators. Bitches better be scared because I don't scare bish. How's it going? Ethan Ralph on YouTube.
Are you a Kiwi farmer?
Absolutely not. No, I didn't know about Kiwi farms until also this case. Now I have gone and read the threads. I don't have an account, but I have read the threads to get caught up when big things happen. Now, so.
Well, you don't post or anything like that.
Never. I've never posted.
She's a lurker.
I don't have an account.
A lurker. Okay.
Did you see?
Likely
Okay,
story.
so let's get you, like, you get there, you park, you show up, and then you're getting ready to go inside. Were the Rekietas outside waiting to go in? Did you guys all go in together? Were you like in a meeting area? Like, how did that work?
That is, like, to be fair, that is the correct answer to any question. It is like, are you a Kiwi farmer? You never say yes. I mean, I enjoy the farms quite a bit, but I think even the regular farmers, like the people, like the Captain Mannings, the Bulldoze Gates, if they're asked in real life, are you a Kiwi farmer? They probably say no, which is the correct answer. Ika says, member for 20 months. Holy shit, almost 2 years. Oh my God, love your Stonies commercial. Thank you very much. Stonies in Rockville, Minnesota. Do you know what's funny? Is like, oh my goodness, I better not share these DMs. I wouldn't want to be there. I wouldn't want to be there. But I got a message from a very angry individual this morning saying, "You think you could big league me, Japan man? Stonies is mine." So looks like Sean is potentially losing his crown to me as the best Stony ad reader.
Last time for Nick's hearing, when I got there, I got there like 10 minutes before it started, and there was everybody waiting in the hallway, and then we got ushered into the courtroom.
Sean seething. He's seething at my no, we're good friends. Just having a bit of a giggle between friends, right?
He's sitting out there. They were late, and I got let into the courtroom before they got there, and so I was just sitting alone.
Oh, by the way, like just mentioning Sandwich Sean, he did a members stream where he literally just reviewed sandwiches the other day. It was so funny. It was so funny. I think it was actually his wife's or his, they're married now, right? It was like his wife's idea to do the sandwich review stream where he had like hoagies and subs from all different places. It was really good. I enjoyed that stream. And also Ika, I guess it's in Arizona, gifted 5 memberships. Thank you very much. Remember to like the stream. Once we get over 400 likes, if we hit the goal, we just need 100 more likes. I'll give 5 free additional memberships. And if we get 800, I'll give 5 more. How about that? It's a deal from you to me. I think YouTube's testing a new feature where you can actually set up goals, but I think it's not out to everybody yet. So that might be fun to do, or embarrassing, I suppose, if we don't hit the goal.
In the courtroom with Kayla's lawyer, and then I think the prosecuting attorney, or whoever was, yeah. And that was, I waited for them, and they showed up late, and they stayed out in the hallway for like 5 minutes. Talking with her lawyer, but it wasn't very far from me, and I could see they were frazzled. I could see the tension between the two of them.
What do you mean by frazzled? Like, I know what the word means, but can you kind of explain that a little bit? Like, were they disheveled? Were their clothes off? Was their hair not done properly? Like, it looked like it was in a bun, but I'm not the fashion police either. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, explain that, please.
So she was in a bun. Her hair was in a bun. She came in with like a frantic kind of energy of like from being late, and peeked her head in to get her lawyer's attention. And her lawyer walked out to the hall.
That is a detail I forgot again, which is very funny. But like, how could you be late to the hearing that could potentially leave you locked up away from your children? This is the most important thing in the world. How could you be late? I can understand leaving like 20 minutes early and then there's traffic or something. Yeah, that's fine. But like for me, like for example, if I'm meeting a friend, I'll usually leave like an hour before I need to be there, just so I don't want to leave people waiting. I don't know. Is that just common courtesy, or maybe I'm just deranged? I don't know. But like being late is something that I just don't understand on for even regular things. Like, how can you be in the modern age? How can you do this? Like, I got to catch a boat tomorrow. I'll probably be there 2 hours early, and I'll just read until it's time to go. Because what if the train fucking crashes? But we have something in Japan called human accident, when somebody decides to go to Canada, essentially, as Nick will be informing people very shortly, I'm sure. We literally like 5-6 times a year, my train gets delayed because somebody like jumped in the front of the track. So I could understand that, but like maybe if I don't know, it seems like a big risk. The judge even told them like, you better not be fucking late next time. Check your fucking watch. That was a pretty funny part of the trial, which is very short. It was like a very tiny hearing. Just be on time.
Way it just was that energy of I'm late. And the lawyer was like, you're fine, you know, it's okay, and trying to calm her down because she just had that kind of frantic energy.
Yeah. Did she say why she was late?
I did not hear a reason, no.
And like, I just say like, what exactly did the judge say? But like what did he say? Like, was it initially like, why are you late, Miss Rekieta? Or was it like they got started and then he was like, why were you late? Or you were late? You know what I'm saying? Like, you talked about the admonishment.
Yeah, at the very end, right before he excused everybody, he just said, you know, next time you need to set an alarm, do whatever you need to do to make sure you're here on time. That is your responsibility. So,
wow. So you better set an alarm clock.
Whatever it takes.
What did she say? Was she like, yes, Your Honor? And they're like,
what was her? Yes, sir.
Wow.
This woman kind of looks like Kayla, somebody says. I don't know. Do you think this looks like Kayla? Hold on. I do have a comparison picture for Kayla, but it was a bit rude. I wasn't going to show it. But okay. Do you think that this woman looks like this person? I don't know. What do you think, chat? I'm not sure. I think this like random mom looks a bit better than Kayla. Kayla's looking a bit rougher these days. There we go. Anyway, like I said, I wasn't going to show it. Chat baited me into posting it. Zoom and enhance? No. It's too spooky. She's taken Dagon's third oath. So I don't want to see it.
Okay, so where in the courtroom were you sitting once things took place? Like, were you on the prosecutor's side? Were you on Nick's side of it? Where were you?
There's only there's 3 like benches. They're like pews in a church. There's not 2 sides.
Okay, so it's across.
Yeah, there's the two front benches are shorter than the back bench, which goes from wall to wall. And I sat on the back one. Nick sat in the front one. So
wow.
Yeah.
So it didn't sound like it was a very big like courtroom.
Oh, it's tiny. Sorry.
That's okay. So like it being small, like you said, like physically, could you like smell Nick? Could you kind of smell if he came in? Like, were there?
Imagine the smell. Like, what are you like? What is this question though? Like, I can understand this question for Ralph, but like, could you smell Nick? What does he smell like? That's a bit of a funny question. I think it's just the meme though. Like, imagine the smell. You never know. Like, Will's a bit of a joker. He's got a bit of a sneaky sense of humor, I've noticed. Oh, the greasiness. I mean, to be fair, this person does look like they would smell. This is a spooky goblin, so, but it's like a tall goblin. He's like the mutant goblin. That's like the deviant version. That's really long. It's a long goblin. So I think Nick is like 6'3", isn't he? At least he says that anyway. A lot of people say they're 6'3", and they are not, which is very, as a real 6'3" person myself, I find that very offensive. But I've got a strategy. When anybody asks me my height in real life, I always say I'm 5'11", because that makes any man in the vicinity that's lied about their height seethe, Because if they're like, oh no, I'm like 6'1" or something, and they're really like under that, it's like, well, they can't be they can't be taller than 6'11" if I'm 6'11. And women have no idea what size is. They have no fucking idea because men have been lying about their sizes, both height and girth, for their entire life. So that's why women can't measure anything, because they just have no understanding of what height or length is, because of all men's fault, really.
Are there any things kind of going off, like when looking at him and stuff like that? Like, what was it like being near him?
I tried not to like stare at them, or I was trying to give off the vibe of like I'm just non-confrontational. I'm just here to observe. And no, I wasn't close enough to smell him. His hair, he did have like bedhead or something going on in the back, like messy hair in the back.
Oh no, the messy hair. The messy, greasy hair, taking naps. He's so busy. He can't stream. He's busy, chat. I'm shocked that he hasn't scheduled an election stream already. Ralph is doing an election stream. The Kino Casino is doing an election stream. I think MLS said he was doing an election stream. He just sent me a message saying, "Do you want to join?" I probably can't. I really wanted to do my election stream too, but then the boat that I need to catch tomorrow only leaves every 3 days, and it just so happened that it left on the 6th for me. But I'm a day ahead. I thought I scheduled it perfectly, but wait a minute, Japan's a day ahead. Shit. I wanted to just get drunk and watch the results of the election. I'm very disappointed. That's the one thing I can't do. I will be watching from the middle of the ocean though, so I'll be either coping along with everybody or celebrating along with everyone. There was a very funny tweet I saw today where someone said to the effect of tomorrow half of the country is in for a really rude wake up call. That's a fire tweet actually. Works any way you read it.
No, but I was staring at the back of his head, so.
Okay, so he's in front of you. So I guess Nick is kind of tall. Like, how big is Nick?
C is always right, indeed.
I would say
indeed.
6'2", 6'3".
Oh wow,
At least
slender.
Very slender.
But you said that Kayla looked like she had been getting healthier, or had looked better than the last time you saw her. Can you talk about that transformation? And then again, has Nick changed in your eyes?
Nick didn't dress as nice this time. He looked.
Yeah, it's your wife's hearing. It's your wife's hearing to determine the rest of her future and status as the mother of your children. I guess could like literally be locked away 5 to 10 years. Now it's not going to happen. That's never going to happen. They're not going to go away for any like significant. I don't think they're going to do any jail time whatsoever. That's my prediction. But like that's the worst case scenario for this. You can't put on a tie. You can't put on a long sleeve shirt. You can't tuck your shirt in. Wait, was his shirt? No, it didn't even tuck in his shirt. I tucked in my shirt for the Stonies video. You can't even go there you can't tuck in your shirt for your wife's hearing. Unbelievable. The amount of laziness. Look at those shoulders. Yeah, he's worm maxing. He's got a very weak posture. We looked at the posture chart last time.
The same as far as how thin he was. Kayla was super, super thin the first hearing. And this time she had put on a little weight, and I think she looked a lot healthier. I know people are giving her a hard time about, her butt and whatever. And I feel bad for that. I feel bad for Kayla.
I don't think Kayla looks terrible.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. They're just haters. Can't all be perfect. I think Kayla looked very nice.
Yeah. I mean, I think I was dressed.
I mean, she definitely looks better. Like she looks better than when she was arrested. Her arrest photo was grim. It looks like she's being fed now, which is nice. And the coke, being off the coke helps, I suppose, for that. Now, there may be some trouble in paradise, actually. We're going to take a look. The polycule might be over. We're going to have a vote on what do you think. We'll have to look at some very some very vague posting. I don't want to spoil it. We'll go into it later.
It's nicer than they were for court, but she looked she looked healthier, and that I was happy to see that.
Did the judge or the lawyer kind of look at their clients and be like, hey, what's going on here? Why do you look so disheveled? Is there any kind of a back and forth between like her lawyer, like kind of like, hey, what's up with this?
I didn't hear anything like that. I was surprised the lawyer was just in like slacks, a blouse, and like a cardigan. Like it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean it's like a small town like lawyer. That makes sense to me. Pretty just normal people, right? Not lawyers are normal people typically. Most of them don't have massive coke stashes or. Well, let's just continue.
Like what I would assume a lawyer would wear. So yeah, I was surprised by that. It was more casual than I expected.
Gotcha. Wow. Let's talk a little bit about. I'm assuming this is what took place. Before things were over, Nick had gotten up to catch as you went outside. How did that work?
Well, the judge ended the hearing, and I was gathering my notebook and my purse and stuff. And when I looked up, I saw Nick had already left, and Kayla and her lawyer were walking out. And then when I went in the hallway, I saw Nick was ahead of Kayla and her lawyer, and he went down the stairs and they went straight into a conference room, Kayla and her lawyer. So I kept walking downstairs. Now our phones are in a locker out.
As soon as she gets into the room, she's like, the lawyer's to Kayla, girl, you got to get out of here. You got to get fucking out of this house. You better get the fuck out. Now, and interesting enough, Max sent this through. This is kind of, apparently this is the courtroom that they were having their hearing in. Now, we don't know for sure, but as you can see, pretty small. This is a pretty good idea of what it'd be like. So you'd have prosecutors over here or vice versa, you know, Kayla and her attorney here. And then so just Nick and that one woman in this small courtroom. This makes it, this really, thanks for that, Mac. That actually really helps visualize the entire thing. Can you imagine being in this room, but also with Ralph? Just like this. Imagine this, Chad. Fire Ranma with another 10 Australian, another Australian in the chat says, Nick's theory came true. The government planted all that evidence and faked all those results to keep him from streaming and helping Trump. Barnes is right, and the fix is in. Those damn communists. You guys vote, like, put a 1 in the chat if you're going to go out and vote today. It is, I guess it's like, is it like 9 a.m. or something in America now on the East Coast? I think it is, because people say that they watch my show in the morning. For me, it's like 10 p.m. It's like 10 p.m. on the 5th already. So I already know the results of the election. But you know, go out there and vote today. Maybe you're driving to go vote right now, listening to my stream. I hope that is the case. Let's continue. Where were we?
There. And I was distracted because I forgot to turn. I had a timer set on my phone, and it was going off in the locker. Even though I turned my ringer off, it was still going off in the locker. So I was distracted by hurrying up and getting.
We need 15 more likes though for the 5 free memberships.
My phone out of the locker to turn that alarm off. And when I turned around to walk, it's right next to the door. When I turned to walk out the door, I noticed he had his phone up towards the door, and I stopped. And in between, there's 2 doors you can go out, but there's a section in between, and I stood there for a second where he couldn't see me, just to make sure he was recording, to see what I was walking out to. And as I looked around, he still was recording. So I went ahead and walked out.
So he did the sneaky phone thing. He's like pretending. He's just like holding his phone like this. He's just pretending to film people that are trying to be low key. What a coward. If you're going to record someone in public, just record them. Like, I mean, you shouldn't record people in public, but if you're going to do it, don't be a fucking creep about it. Just be a bold and brave about it. Like, what, oh no, I wouldn't want this middle-aged suburban white woman to see that I'm recording here. Oh my goodness. He learned from Drex. Oh, that's rude. I know exactly what you're referring to as well. Because I think the deepest lore on this one was that Drex was taking creep shots at the gym or something, and then posting it to his Discord. And let's be honest, if you see someone in the gym and you're making fun of them, and I can't remember if he was making fun of someone or if he was just like some hottie that he wanted to share with the Discord or something, don't record people in the gym. They're there at their worst. They're sweaty. They're red. They're trying to improve their life. Like, especially if they're fat, don't make fun of fat people in the gym, because they're in the fucking gym. That's where they should be. You should congratulate them. You should celebrate them.
And asked him, like, oh, you're recording me. Now, at this point, I had not recorded him. When I walked, he had his phone kind of like this, but looking kind of to my left, like he wasn't looking directly at me. I was like, so you're recording me? And he's like, uh-huh. And then stopped recording, put his phone down, started walking towards the door to go in. I said, wait, if you're going to record me, I have a few questions for you. And he's like, who?
She sensed the weakness. That's what happened. She was just trying to get in and out. But then, where is that damn photo? There we go. She sensed the weakness. He saw the man. He's like, yeah. And then he like turns around and does the virgin walk away. Like literally, it looks like if you have this woman's face on the Chad body and you have this person's face on the virgin, it's actually the Chad versus virgin meme. Virgin. Let me see. You guys don't talk about it, right? I mean, surely you do. The chat does, but I will show it up for edit, and it even matches. It fucking matches so perfectly. It's this playing up. It's like, are you recording me? Yes. I have some questions for you. Like, oh no, retreat to the bunker, retreat. Holy shit. He fears the suburban white woman. She presses the attack when she saw the weakness and the worm walk. That's why you got to stand up straight. Otherwise you get pressed by these short white women.
Who are you?
Girl boss as fuck, exactly.
I said that kind of to troll him. You know, I know that was in the warrant. that it was called a concerned citizen. And you know, I was kind of caught off guard and just said the first thing that came to my head. I'm thinking about it, you know, I don't
Oh, we hit the goal. We hit the goal. All right, here you go, chat. Here's your 5 free memberships because you hit the like button. If we hit 800 on the like button this stream, we'll get 5 more. How about that? 5 free memberships. You get the emojis. You get access to the Discord, which I'll post a new link to after the stream. You get it all. You get it all. Like, look at this. This another great meme from my rat members on Discord. Look at this. Oh, it looks like somebody's having a good time at Stoney's. Oh my goodness. Wow. Thanks. I love waking up and seeing all the memes that my loyal Discord followers like to make of me. Thank you very much. Holy shit. I'm watching. I've got my eyes on you, Merkins.
And to think I was the one who was the one calling it that made the report against them to get this started. I was not. And I'm also
very
not
rude, very rude.
Minnesota Public Records either, to just set the record straight. Because I've seen that in the comments of
now, do you think that maybe she is Minnesota Public Records? Do you think? I don't know. That would make a lot of sense, but it's like this is like the TV show sort of syndrome where you kind of have a limited amount of players on the board and you assume that one of them has to be this person. I'm pretty sure the Minnesota Public Records is just some clerk that works at the courthouse. But it would be an interesting little turnabout to find out that this person is Minnesota Public Records.
People covering the video, so I am not. So when I told him, or he asked me who I am, and I said concerned citizen, he's like, "You're no concerned citizen," and put his head down and walked in the door where I was not able to. I didn't have my phone ready or anything when I walked out the door. I probably should have. I should have got it out when I saw he was recording. I should have took that time to then hold up my phone and record him back.
So as soon as
because she wasn't prepared for the degeneracy, because most people are just, like I said, normal people. So you don't expect all of these weirdos to start recording you in public and things like that. So that is an interesting part of the detail, though, is that she only recorded him after he recorded her. So that just goes to show that if Nick had not spurged out, if he had just been normal, like, why can't you be fucking normal? If he had just been normal, this entire thing wouldn't have happened. The more he struggles, the worse it gets. It's literally quicksand in his life and online now. If he'd just been normal, she would have come back, maybe done like a post on the farms or something. She says she doesn't have an account, but we don't know that. But just because you decided to be a nerd about it, to try and press this woman to record her so you could have your little jokes with Melton about, oh, she's a hobgoblin, my bro. She's a hobgoblin. No, she's a normal person. And because you acted a fool again, you got attention again in the worst way. It makes you wonder if it's all intentional, but who can say? Citizen M says, quit stealing Aaron's audience. Aaron has an audience? That's news to me. But you know who does have an audience is Stoney's in Rockville, Minnesota. Thirsty Thursdays on Tuesdays. Oh, sorry, fuck. It's Thursdays. Thirsty Thursdays. Doodle accounts. Damn it. Sean's gonna get the better ad read for me now. All right, we'll go back a few seconds.
I should have took that time to then hold up my phone and record him back.
So as soon as he walked out of that locker room and was outside of the court building, he had his phone ready to record, basically.
He was recording before I walked out, yeah.
Okay, wow. So it kind of like ambushed you. As you came out, he like was recording you.
Mm-hmm. There was no way I could get past him without him getting me. Yeah. And that is why I chose to show my face today. It's because, you know, if he may feel like he has some power over me, that he can release that, you know, and that I'm just going to disarm that and go ahead and show my face.
Yeah, good for you. So
yeah, I mean that makes sense, right? Take everything away that he thinks that he has, the little power that he believes he has. Oh, well, I'm going to dox you if you talk about my court case. Well, no, I'll just do an interview. Now even more people know about it. It's the Streisand effect in effect. Kind of there's the thing there. Just be normal. Just stop being who you are. And just be normal and just go through the system, get your kids back. Well, you got the kids back, obviously, but you know, get through the court case, get through the legal, just get it all when you're back, and then just go back to doing boring law coverage of the case. You know, Trump and guns. Just talk about that all day. You'll be fine. Fatty Caddy with a 5 says, "Who lost control more, Kayla when Aaron was giving it to her, or Nick now that Aaron has taken away the donkey meat from his thirsty body?" Also, hi, how's it going? There was an interesting post. I think I saw Breaking Baldo posted it, and he said, Nick's just mad because Aaron Eamholt pulled out weeks before the arrest could happen, so he couldn't get charged with drugs and as well. Yeah, I think that's really like part of it. I think not only is Nick sad that he's lost his scorned lover, Aaron, but it seems like he's like vindictive against Aaron because Aaron's not suffering in their fate as well, which is probably why they snitched onto the government for the revenge picks, which is probably going to go nowhere. But there's an interesting thing about it is that as we'll go through tonight after the Will Heron interview, Nick's been talking a lot to Aaron in particular. He's been going into Aaron's chat. He's been paying money to talk to Aaron, and he's been talking a lot about Aaron's cock and how he remembers it, which is a strange thing to say when you are accusing this man of harassing your wife. And there's also a clip I got of Camelot, which apparently implies that Nick may have been sharing these photos with people very freely and openly, but who can say? Who can say? We don't have quite the whole story. But thank you for the 5, and hello there, Fatty Caddy. Big support today. Merv's gifting 5 more memberships. Can we hit the goal? The new goal of 800. We are about 300 away. It could happen. If half the chat liked it right now, it would happen right away. But if we hit 800, I'll give him 5 more as well. One Iron Naught with a real $10 from America. He says, I'm 50 minutes behind and catching up. A lot of us here take a second to click that like button. My first ever and only super chat. Let's get over 1,000 likes. Make it count. F Nick. Thank you very much for the 10. And thank you for making your first super chat my super chat. I love money. And I love you too, chat.
Let's talk a bit about was it intimidating when he was there like that and standing in front of you like that? If I remember correctly, you don't tell me how tall you are, but if I remember, you're not that tall, and so
I'm short.
Harrison, you're short. So
I just wish you had said that she and Ralph were the same size, and then she says like she's 4'11". That would just be so funny.
As you came out the door, there's this 6'4", 6'3" slender man with his phone in front of you, and you know this kind of history and everything going on. Like, what was that like? Were you scared? You know, like.
I mean, it caught me off guard, and it did rattle me a little bit. But
I can't choose who gets the membership. It's YouTube decides.
Pissed me off, like of him, just his tone.
Well, I can send you a Discord invite.
The snarl he gave me when he's like, "You're no concerned citizen," you know. I was like, "You don't know me, you know. You're psychic now." And I am concerned. I am definitely concerned for his family.
Right, the children.
Yeah.
What do you think?
There's a few cuts in this, by the way. So if it seems like it's you're missing some context, it sounds like they paused the interview at some point, and maybe that's coming up. But I think it actually says on screen at some point as well. It sounds like that Will paused the interview. They had a bit of a heart-to-heart and maybe talked about her actual situations, but it's left out of the video because obviously she doesn't want that to be public. But it sounds like she had a pretty bad childhood and kind of the same childhood that maybe Nick's kids are going through right now. So this like kind of really like hit her deep. It's very relatable. She's like worried about those kids. Like Nick likes to say on Twitter, like, you don't care about the welfare. Like it's all just for internet clout. But no, these are the people that see the story and are so engrossed by it. Is because they can relate. They can think about the children, the hungry children begging for SpaghettiOs from Aaron, that are wondering why mummy, daddy, and 2 of their friends are going to the big bedroom, the Minnesota king that sleeps 4, locking the door and all kinds of weird snorting sounds. And they probably just want to see Sunny and make sure that she's okay, but they can't because the bedroom's locked and weird things are going on. This affects kids no matter what you say. Kids notice, and it will have an effect. Now, again, I've said this before, but this doesn't mean that you can't make a comeback. It doesn't mean that you can't work to make your life better again. Like you did destroy your family's lives, make no mistakes, but you can rebuild it. You can rebuild it. And hopefully you are. I mean, nobody wants, well, I mean, some people, I guess some people do, but at least speaking for myself, I don't want to see the bad ending. I want to see the good ending where you get life back together and this all becomes a part of your life that you acknowledge, but you've recovered from and you're the better for it. I think that's what most people want as well. Oh my God. We're coming back. We're coming back, chat. Oh dear. How many people did we lose? You know what I noticed? That my background is actually perfect. Because if my internet goes out, you see the Great Wave of Kanagawa. And that's probably what happened is the internet got taken out by tsunami. But in this case, that guys, we're back. We're back. Or are we? No, I think we're not. Is it F again? Shit. I can see my internet flicking on and off. Curse you, Japanese internet. We're almost back, chat. We're almost back. Don't worry. I was just rambling to myself anyway. All right, I can see. I'm gonna have to. I'll get rid of my. I have to reload my chat now. What a disaster. Press a 1 in the chat if you can hear again, so I know. That's the way. That's the only way that people communicate on the internet is with 1s in chat. There we go. Okay, there we go. Chat's back. We're back. We're so back. We're so back. There we go. I had to check my closet for spooky skeletons from Minnesota. All right, let's continue the interview, and let me know if the audio is working and everything.
But the kid coming up positive for cocaine.
So I'll play back though 20 seconds, but you may have missed it.
You know, I was like, you don't know me. You know, you're psychic now, and I am concerned. I am definitely concerned for his family,
Right, the children.
Yeah.
What do you think about the kid coming up positive for cocaine?
You know, there's a lot of red flags there that, just with my history of what I've lived through in the similar kind of childhood, it's some major red flags for me, and you know, it concerns me, like of what the implications of that could be. You know, there's a lot of different. They could have accidentally got it, which is obviously negligence. But I mean, it goes to the range of intentionally, and what would that be for? In my history, it was. This is such a touchy subject.
Yeah, as you can see, she kind of gets uncomfortable talking about her childhood at this point of the video. It's kind of like a little bit sad.
Yeah, it was used for control over, you know, to. Okay.
Yeah, so that's why they take a short break, and you know, maybe like maybe they have like we don't know. They probably just talk about her childhood, or like let her cool down. You know, get some air, take a bit of a walk. You know, relax a little bit and continue, because she does seem a little bit like throughout this interview she seems a bit nervous. It's probably the first time she's ever spoke on the internet like this, and I mean, over 8,000 people saw this stream on Will's channel, and I guess even more on the restreams and people talking about it like myself, the casino, or I'm not sure if Sean or anyone else did, but I'm sure many people saw it now.
Yeah, I would hope that for the sake of the family, the kids, that he would do what he needs to do to get his life together and give them the stability and security that they deserve. I hope the situation turns out better than my situation. My mother did die from a drug overdose, but I can only go by my history of what I've experienced of similar. And when alcohol and drugs were given to kids, in my experience, it was a way to lower their inhibitions and possibly
It's like fucking terrifying.
Get them addicted to a substance that they may then do things to get that substance in the future.
Now, I don't think that's what happened in this case. Like, I'm hoping that like the thing with the coke test with the kid is a weird one, because it's such a shocking piece of evidence, and that hasn't been explained yet. Now, Nick said that the government retested, like, because they always do these tests twice, and apparently this is one of the more effective like tests for determining cocaine use, the metabolite hair test. I'm surprised that Nick hasn't paid for his own test, right? For now that he's got the kids back, because he had the kids away for 77 days. These tests are apparently effective up till 90 days, or perhaps a bit longer. That's probably they're effective. They're probably like quite a while. But they just say 90 days for you know, like our best before date. You have it in the supermarket. Doesn't mean it's going to like be poisonous the day after. So he got the kids back within the 90-day window. Why didn't he just pay for the test himself? Every time he talks about this, he just says that the government didn't pursue the results. Why not? Why not? He says it's a perfectly reasonable explanation, but he doesn't want to tell the explanation. And that's his right. This is right too. I just wish you'd pick a lane. Either say your piece and say why this is fucked up and why it's all bullshit and why it's all made up or whatever, or just say nothing, because It's not, this half measure of I don't want to talk about a case and then talking about it for an hour is not working for you. So just pick a lane, stick to it, and sort out your fucking life. Trigger Rob with the 10 says, howdy, meme. How's it going, Trigger Rob? Glad to see you here again tonight.
Do you think that that is the case, or
I honestly don't know. I mean, there's no way to know, but I hope CPS is looking into the possibility.
okay? So let's go on. You had talked about a dark energy around Nick. What did you mean by that?
The funny thing is that in the comments for this one, I think the pinned comment was well, I guess the pinned comment is now a money chat, which makes sense. But I think there was earlier the pinned comment was it's not dark energy, it's dork energy, which is pretty funny. I thought it's the dork Baldo aura.
Just has
He's an aura thief.
a very troubled vibe about him. His eyes are dark. He doesn't look completely sane, and that if it wasn't for the dark energy, kind of
Dark
craziness in the
energy.
eyes, I wouldn't have been intimidated. He's kind of effeminate, even though he's very tall. Yeah.
He's kind of effeminate. Holy shit! Did she? Oh my goodness! Now there was some very funny pictures of Nick's effeminate stance on the Kiwi farms. I didn't load them up for this stream, but there's some reflection. People have been peeking in the reflections, and he has like these very effeminate little stances when he's doing his local streams, which is funny but not really that relevant. But holy shit! A middle-aged white suburban mum or whatever, a woman just says, "Oh, you've got effeminate energy, my man." When you tried to secretly record her, and then she presses you for recording her, and then you slink away doing the virgin walk, and she calls you effeminate. Holy shit! Oh my god, not looking so good out there.
Has a lot of effeminate gestures and movements, and
Flamboyant. He's zesty.
If he didn't have that
He's zesty Rekieta.
like I said, the energy, the dark energy, the craziness in his eyes, I don't think I would have been, and his height, I wouldn't have been intimidated at all. But yeah, I was because of those things.
So what was it like when you went outside and you decided to get that video? And he had just gotten video of you, like I guess they were in the comments room, and then you'd waited for them to come.
And this is important. This is, I think, one of the more important details of the actual interview itself is that Nick was recording first. He shot first. So when he complains that these people are recording me, what weirdos, he started it. He literally started. She wasn't going to record him until he did it first. And you might say, well, how do you know that? She would have obviously recorded him. If she was going to record him, why didn't she record him the first time? Because she was at the first hearing. So she actually has a history of not releasing recordings of him until he decided to play a fool and try and sneakily do the I'm just holding my phone to my chest. Exactly. As a matter of fact, it was you who recorded me. Oh my goodness.
Outside and then you got your footage. How did that work?
Yeah, I went across the street so I wouldn't be on the property. So that's why the video quality is not that good. I had to zoom in as far as I could.
She's pinching and zooming.
I wanted to get the footage without being too intrusive.
Were you worried that he was going to come over and say something or do something at all?
It entered my mind, but I was.
I mean, like for real though, like the dark energy, the vague posting, the odd threats that he's been through. I think that Nick's pretty close to a mental break if he hasn't already. I mean, he probably already did, but he seems on the verge of having a massive freak out. And so I would not stick around him if you're in Minnesota. Keep a distance. You need like your 6-foot goblin pole that the Japanese police use. Do you guys know these things? Like the Japanese police poles? We got trained with them actually back when I was working in the office. We had like the poles. If we have like a weirdo person comes in, they've got these. Japan. They've got these really. It's actually really interesting. They're just kind of like these big cow catchers, basically. Well, not cow catchers, but it's like a big pointy stick thing. Wow, God damn it! There's a video of one of these things. Somebody must know. Does somebody know the video where it's like the little woman and she's got the stick and it like you launch them onto people and it like grabs onto them. It's like grappling hooks things, but for the modern era. We literally got to play with those when I was working in an office. They're called man catchers? Okay, there you go.
To stand up to him if he tried.
Would you go back now, knowing everything that you know, and after this previous experience?
It's the lolcow pole, yes. That's what it is.
I might take my husband, but I'll go back.
That's probably a smart move. Yeah, probably handle business.
Yeah, because that's a guarantee that Nick won't mess with a man because he's very happy to press female prosecutors, very happy to press. Well, I mean, he didn't even really press this woman at all. He tells the story that it's funny. He's like in his fantasy stories, he's always pressing women. But like when he went to Monica Rial and Jamie Marshy's trial, so he did exactly what this woman did. He did exactly what this woman did. So if he complains about it, if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander, my friend. He went to Ron Toye. Oh, no, sorry. It was just Monica Rial and Funimation and Jamie Marchi or whatever. And he went there, sat in the gallery because he thought he was going to smugly get the victory that day. And most of us were probably assuming that was the case as well, because a lot of us were kind of started watching during the Vic Mignogna saga. But then as soon as he saw Ron Toye, he fled. Ron Toye was wearing a wife beater that day, according to Nick. And he fled from the courtroom because he couldn't. He was like, well, I didn't want to get into an altercation. I got to get back to my home. Like that, these people could be unhinged. But then he went to like a donut shop, like a cake shop or whatever. And they showed up there too in Texas, right? They showed up at the donut shop and he snuck out the back. He snuck out the back to escape from Ron Toye. Oh my goodness. This has to be karma. Like, I don't believe in karma, but this is just too perfect. Like the way it just rhymes is outrageous.
What would you say to Nick? Let's say you had him in front of you and you were able to talk to him civilly, maybe one-on-one. What would you ask him? What would be your questions to him?
The first thing I would say is your kids are aware of so much more than you give them credit for. That's standard for all parents, but especially parents that are living a lifestyle that they think they're keeping things from their kids, because if they have an inquisitive kid like I was, I had to find out the answers when things didn't add up or things were confusing. I would eavesdrop. I would whatever to find out. You need stability, and when things aren't stable, you're trying to figure things out. And I was aware of everything.
Like kids just know. You just know when something isn't right. Like when you got 4 adults in a bed in the big Minnesota King. And not only does he have like even young kids can understand what's going on, or at least they figure it out later in life. Nick's children range from like, I think 6 to 16. So the older kids will know exactly what's fucking happening, and they can explain it to their siblings as they get older, like what was going on during this time. It's like, well, this is what this deal was. So the idea that you could hide this from the kids is just not possible. And I was gonna play this later, I guess, but we'll kind of intersperse this clip with this clip. I think this is the right one. It's 24 seconds, and I think I'm not sure what this is from. Is this from Minnesota? Maybe, I don't know. But this is like what this is. Just listen.
Drugs may have something to do with it, because you can't do drugs here.
Oh, this is his house.
You cannot do drugs here. At home, you got kids, man. You can't.
Yes, you can't. Don't do drugs in your kid's house.
You can't fucking do that. That's very. No.
Now, was he doing drugs at this time? So, like, this just sounds like good advice. But was he actually doing drugs at this time? And he was just saying this because it was a fun little in-joke for him, because he was doing drugs at the time in his house. But like, if you just use any common sense, kids find out things, kids are inquisitive, kids copy adults. That's why you don't do these things. Like, you shouldn't, if you're a parent, you shouldn't be doing them at all. Let's be honest. Because you never know when you have to drive to an emergency room, or there's some allergic reaction that you just have to, you have to be there to be an adult, to be a parent, to look after your kids, right? But if you're a single person, you got no responsibilities. I don't care. Go nuts. Go fucking nuts. Do whatever you want. But when you become a parent, you have to give up that part of yourself that lives for the self, and you have to start living for somebody else. Because kids don't ask to be born. They don't consent to being born. So you're their guardians. You're their parent. You're their caregiver until they can. So the fact that he actually said this and he knew this is just like. Nick has been on for so long that there are just all these clips that are like people are finding or being recommended to them now. Like people go back and watch the old streams, and just comparing like the Nick versus Nick is some insane stuff.
Can't do drugs around kids. That's fucking. You can't do that.
Yeah, I agree. You shouldn't. Like, come on now. Copium approves of the Ralph and Mayo lifestyle. No, but Ralph has kids. That's the saddest thing. He should be being responsible for them as well. But he's a fuck up. Like that's another thing. That's another thing. Like all of these crazy situations is he literally has someone in his life that fucked up his life to the extent that he's living in a tin shed in Mexico, and is like a deadbeat father, has to fly around the country getting Saturday night palsy like Ralph, I don't know if you guys know this. I'm pretty sure that there's a big crossover on the next streams with the Kino Casino peoples, which I quite enjoy myself. It's a good show. Good show. I saw they played my intro today on their intro. That was fun too. They got to scoop my own video before I could post it on my channel. No, but Nick knows. Nick knows exactly what his life could become. He could become Ralph if he doesn't pull up. But yes, Ralph fell asleep in an airport for like 6 hours or something, and now he's partially paralyzed, perhaps forever, on one of his arms. He's got what is it? Radial nerve palsy, which is also called Saturday night palsy, because you get it from being drunk and lying down in a weird positions. So not looking too good for Ralph down in Mexico.
At seven, I knew when threesomes were going on. I knew, yeah,
So this woman actually knows exactly how Nick's kids feel because she went through it herself. Her family was doing, like she said earlier, her mother overdosed from a drug, from drug use, and she saw threesomes, thruples, quadruples, whatever, like polycules going on in her own house. So she knows exactly, like, this is perhaps the woman that can relate the most with these kids, and she is a concerned citizen.
I knew, and I knew what drugs they were on. I knew how they were doing them, when they were doing them, and they would lock themselves in the room for the whole day with their friends, and it's very, very similar. The state of the house sounds very similar, so it's so easy for me to put myself in their shoes, and that's the first thing I'd say is your kids are aware of so much more than you give them credit for. But two, my biggest question is, they had a whole ass house next door. Why didn't they keep that for their drugs and their sexcapades?
That's actually a really good point. They literally could have done all of their degenerate bullshit lifestyle stuff in the second house. Now, I think if we're going to have to be factually accurate about this or whatever, they had a family living in the house, and I think they kicked the family out of the house so that Aaron and April could move in. So the drug use started while the family was living in the second house, to the best of my knowledge. So that would be the rationale for it. But they could have kicked the family out earlier if they wanted to really like keep things separate, like have your trap house and have your real house, right? But then when I guess the Aaron and April decided not to move in to Spicer, Minnesota, then they try to sell the house, and it's a disgusting house. I mean, it's nice property. The property is pretty good. I would love to have like a big acre yardage with the trees. You can go deer hunting. That would be nice. That would be nice. But the hard water, like spooky bathroom, that is that house is going to sell for a while. I don't think they've already lowered the price, I think, from it as well. I think it went from $450,000 to $425,000, but it's still for sale. So if you want to live just a drive away from Stoney's Bar in Rockville, Minnesota, then you could buy the second house.
Keep it away from their kids. They could have got a nanny, or even nanny cam, since they're right next door.
Well, they did have a nanny. They did have a nanny. She fled from the degeneracy. I think what happened is the nanny got propositioned to join into the whatever they were calling it, the cover. And she was so disgusted that she decided to quit and is now working for a new family. The nanny for 5 years, by the way. So those kids, very invested in that nanny. Like some of those kids are like known her for their entire lives, because you can't really remember shit before like 3 or 4 years old, right? So those kids literally saw their nanny their entire lives, and she was so disgusted that she decided to leave that situation. And like, nannies do gain attachments to these kids as well. So like she got to a point in life where she was like, no, this is it. I've been with these kids for 6 years or whatever, or 6 years, and I've had enough. I'm out. I wonder what their goodbye was like.
To keep that away from their kids, I would have a much different view. Plus, if you think about it, when they came with the warrant, he's not a very good criminal, because when they came with the warrant, if the drugs were in the other house, the warrant was for the main house. I don't think the warrant covered the other house.
That's a good point as well. Like they could have literally stashed everything in the other house. Now, here's the problem that this woman, Mrs. K, isn't thinking about. Walking to their second house requires work. And, it's hot outside. It was summer. You can't expect the man to walk, what, was it like 100 yards to the other house? That's far, far too much walk. He's only used to walking downstairs from the shower to his bunker and then back to the shower when he needs to talk to people.
Wouldn't even been in the house, but so it would have protected the kids and protected them. And it's just, I want to know why. Why didn't you use that house? That's just stupid.
To me, they're both of the girls, Kayla and April, are back there in that back bedroom where the bathroom is, where everything was at, all the paraphernalia, everything, her credit card with the substances on it. Like, no one thought to go back there and empty it out into the toilet. No one thought to flush it, even put it in the carpet. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can't get all that out of there. And even if they did, it would be like under a gram. Like, you had 26 grams, partner. Like, you're not.
And that's the 26 grams is what they were caught with. How much of that did they get through before it was reduced down to 26 grams? Was that like the end of their week binge? Because like Camelot implied, or at least he said, no, he didn't even imply, he just said that Nick was spending $20,000 a month on coke. Now, do I believe that? That sounds like to me that Nick was bragging. He's like, yeah, I'm spending 20 large on coke every month. It's probably like less than that, I would imagine. And it's just kind of like one of these like stories, it's games of telephone or something. But that, like, how much coke did they have before they got caught? That's the question, I think. I mean, that's a lot of coke by itself, the 26 grams. Was it like an 8-ball or something? I don't know. I'm not really a drug user or anything. Although somebody in Sean's chat thinks that I am. It's very strange. Someone said that I like had a coke habit, which isn't true. No, the only time no, I have never done it. Just for the Stonies video, and that was just regular nothing, flour, just for a bit of a joke.
That isn't recreational.
No.
And then the gun and all that, like, I can understand the weapon and the ammo, but like keeping them next to the drugs, like, what are you thinking? Like, you're right there. You're both in the bathroom. No one thought to go into, like, what were they going to do? They thought they were going to get it back? Did they think they were going to do it later? Like, they were going to get out of this? Like, what? Sorry, that's me, like, gushing on you, but like.
I get it. It doesn't make any sense unless they had their house is big enough that they didn't hear what was going on.
How's it going?
Maybe they were in the midst of using. Like, I don't know, but I feel horrible for that daughter. Our house, the door got kicked in before by the police, and that is traumatic. It's traumatic.
So this everything that happened to this woman is what happened to Nick's kids. She noticed her parents at the age of 7 having threesomes, locking themselves up in their bedroom when they should be being responsible. Her mother died of an overdose. Well, obviously that didn't happen, and hopefully that doesn't happen in this situation either. And then the police busted down her door, just like what happened to Nick's kids. And wasn't it like one of the daughter's birthdays the same day the police raid started, or is like the day before or the day after, right? So they didn't even see their parents on their birthday. It's a really sad point there. I can't remember. But so, like, if you think like the kids aren't going to notice, if the kids, there's just going to be like a silly thing that happened to their parents once. No, this woman remembers this situation so vividly at the age of 7 that now she feels compelled to go and observe this person as a concerned citizen in his trial. So obviously, there's some resentment here, and that's going to happen. That's going to carry through. Now, like I said, it doesn't mean that you can't fix things once you break them. You know, it's broken, but it's not broken forever, provided you get your act together. Perhaps baiting that people should go to Canada is not a good idea. Perhaps saying like, well, I'm not sure if I'll even make it to the next election. Not sure if you should be saying that. That's a bit too edgy, a bit too vague posty, but it is what it is, right? Brewberries, member 50 months says, telling you she's the daughter from the future. Holy shit. Now, that is some fun headcanon. Like, she's a time traveler and she's actually Nick's daughter. That is like, holy shit. That would be really funny if time travel were indeed possible. But it's not. Although I guess people say time is a flat loop. Who knows? Welcome to the Shizzy Wiznut Raiders. I said it as you came in, but welcome. Be sure to hit that like on the stream. If the stream goes over 800 likes, which we need 200 more likes, if even a quarter of the people like the stream, we'll hit 800 likes. And then I'm going to gift 5 free memberships to the people in chat. That gives you access to the emojis in the Discord. And it makes your name green, unlike those dirty gray names. Some of you gray names are okay. Some, I assume, are good people.
So I feel really bad for those kids.
Wow. Geez. So this really hit close to home with you. This wasn't just, you're watching it. You were a concerned citizen for sure. Absolutely. I definitely want to thank Kay for taking time out of her day to hang out with me and kind of explain her experience with Rekieta and going to the actual courthouse and things like that. So, and also I want to thank you all for hanging out with us.
There we go. So that looks like the end of it. Again, that is TV's Will Heron on YouTube. He's been following this pretty closely. He's a TV personality, I suppose. I think he does like weather or something. I'm not sure. I've seen him do sports. I don't know what else he does, but he's He's an actual professional that has decided to join our little sector of the internet and has been clipping up content. Looks like he's clipping Maddie. He's clicking up me. He's clipping up Legal Mindset. Legal Mindset. Actually, I'll be seeing Legal Mindset in a couple of days over in Busan. And also with Jeff, actually. He's clipping the steel toe. He's got all the clips, but also he's got this extra edge, is that he has the interviews with both this woman and he's getting sources. That's kind of, he's lending his credibility. And these people are coming out of the woodwork to share with him. So you can get some exclusive stuff over on Will Heron's channel, if you are so inclined. All right. What do we got now? Let's go to, oh wait, I've got to pull up the thing. Hold on a second. I forgot to play the banners though. It's Ape Escape time. It's time for the Ape Escape. Now, some people have assumed, and it's a bit hard to tell, but April's been vague posting. She's been doing her 14-year-old edgy teenager posts, and it sounds like she's actually out of the cover or whatever it is. She thought it was a lame name from the beginning. She may hold some animosity to Kayla, and she's been talking about how she wanted to be the wife. She doesn't want to be the side piece. She wants to be the main woman. She even changed her Twitter handle to April Law, which 111111. So I guess there's a couple of April Laws, so she's going to have to get in line. But picking up her tweets from November 4th, we start with some vagary. It says, "I realize what a fool I was. I won't make that mistake again." What could they mean by that, chat? What could that mean? "I find myself wanting to have so many conversations now that I understand, but the phone call isn't coming. Please call me when you're ready. I don't know how else to ask you." Now, of course, we don't know. We don't know what this is. Is it Nick? Some people are saying it's Nick. Nick is putting up Nick is putting up the diversionary tactics. It's not impossible. I wouldn't put it past him, right? It could be possible because she was at their house just days ago. We know that she was at their house days ago because she showed up to the live stream. Well, not live stream, but the court hearing in Nick's bunker, which makes no sense because you can just call in from a phone. Like, you don't have phones. What are you doing? Over there in Minnesota? So, but these tweets would seem to imply that she's been kicked out. Now, what happened? Did she perhaps swing for Kayla and missed? Did she try and get rid of her? Did you try and supplant her? We don't know. Please call when you're ready. I don't know how else to ask you. Has Nick shut her out of his life? What do you think? Hold on, I gotta reload the chat for a second. This is being wonky. I can see it on StreamYard, but I can't see it on YouTube. She also posted this picture of some, what are these, marigolds? I think they're marigolds, right? I don't know. Not a flower man. "I hope you find someone who makes you feel pretty. Then I hope you make them feel pretty too. Because you want to. And I hope you hold each other and smile." Look, you do not want to piss off a woman like this. A woman that shares all of your private if I'm Nick and I'm reading this, and let's say this isn't Nick. Let's say this is actually April. This is like, oh my goodness. You just know every time she posts, he's just like, just make your account private. They Kiwis can see everything. They can see everything. They're making fun of me. Oh my goodness. She's in let's assume that this isn't Nick and the breakup has happened and that she's trying to get in contact, but she's been shut out. She's in the cope phase, the five stages of depression. She's sad right now. She's trying to bargain, but one of those stages is going to be anger. And when anger comes, what is she going to reveal? Apparently, Josh Moon has reached out to her to again make the offer of giving her the full $6,000 if she releases the body cam. Now, look, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, and she might just submit it for free if he doesn't keep her happy. That's what a disaster of the situation this is. Like, that's like, oh my gosh. Let me see if the chat's reloaded now. There we go. I'll pull this back in for a second, just a moment. Just the technical details. There we go. Has April been abandoned, says Uncivil Law, as a dirty grey name? Oh my goodness, he didn't even join as a member. With all his lawyer money. Oh my gosh. We don't know, but it would imply that she has fled the coop. The ape has escaped. And she also had this pinned tweet, but that's not from September 13th. February 17th. It said, "If everyone under the sun could stop concern trolling over little old me for 5 minutes, that would be great. Haha, I'm wonderful. I do in fact have an agency over myself. Thanks, loves. Happy weekend. Get some sunshine. I'm not sure how these two tweets compare to each other. I would say that there's a bit of a tone difference between them. Oh fuck! The chat is actually being really annoying today. Not the chat. The chat window is being annoying. I would never say anything bad against you, chat. That's my solemn promise. All right. You know what? There we go. We finished the ape segment, but let me know. What do you think? Do you think April's left? I kind of think that she has. I kind of think that Kayla. Sorry, this one confused. Kurt, please. April is ready. There you go, Kurt. Your love quest is over. You've got somebody that is now boyfriend-free girl. Oh shit! There was a really funny clip that does somebody have it? The one where it's Eric Hunley's layback law and Nick comes in to cope. That Sean and Kurt are on the thing. I don't think I had that in my prep for my beginning show. Let me see if I can find that for a second. Oh my goodness, that's so funny. We need to check out that as well. I'll get rid of April's tweets. And no, we'll talk. We're still on Twitter, so let's talk about Canada. Let's talk about Canada, shall we? All right. So, jumping over to next timeline. I searched his account for Canada, by the way. So his last mention of Canada was a year ago. He went he went over a year without mentioning Canada, which is the correct state of frame to be in. You don't want to be talking about Canada ever. The chat's still broken. I'll just reload this entirely. He says, in the US, it would be highly fact dependent. I'll look into it. If you ask me, are you guilty of X in Canada? My default answer is yes. That's the only time he's talked about Canada. Until now, what do you have here? What does he have here? It's November 1st. He says, this is fucked up. The Canadian government is helping people commit self-deletion. There's actually like a really creepy... I should... hold on a second. I'm going to bring this up as well. But he says, a few of you are going to Canada for Christmas. So this is his new insult. His new straight from the mind of the man that brought you such bangers as a cop in a Denny's. If he now wishes you a trip to Canada, he's implying that you should go rope yourself. You should go jump in the Canadian self-Minecraft deletion chambers. So as you go through, he's like, have a fun day in Canada. I hope you enjoy Canada. He's just been replying to people saying Canada. When he's basically telling you to go off yourself because this is so weird and funny that it's an absolute banger. It's an absolute banger. So there you go. That's the trip to Canada. I need to clean some of these tabs up for a second. Oh, there you go. There you go. There's the full context. There's the full context. A few, let's say, this is fucked up. Canadian government. A few of you go to Canada. Yep. This is against terms of service, and this has been reported. I hope you enjoy Canada. Wow, you're a very angry and bitter man. Have fun in Canada. I don't know. It's also tiresome. It's also tiresome. It is what it is, though. All right, let me see if I can get this clip loaded up. Or I should. Oh no, I want to go into the. What is this one? We've read this one, right? Yeah, we did that one. We did that one. Just let me clear out. All right. We'll go into the Sean C thing in just a second. But Nick has been very, very angry against potentially Sean, the sandwich man. And because Nick has been spending a lot of time in Aaron's chat and talking about Aaron's cock. And we have a picture of that. I'm not just making this up. This is the man that remembers the size of your penis. So you can see they've got a steel toe. It's another win for a toe. He got a steel toe membership to join in because I think it was a members only chat. And he says, just remember, you say that after you've seen my penis. Remember when I saw yours? I do. Why would you say this? Why would you say this? Remember when I saw yours? Remember when you saw my penis? Remember when I saw yours? I remember. Is this a fond memory? What are you talking about? Holy shit. Oh my gosh. Hold on a second. I'm just going to reload this entire window and see if I can get this working. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. All right, let's see. Bring it in. Okay, seems like it's working. There we go. Oh my goodness. Gotta get my chat back. There we go. I can see all the emojis popping up. Everything's working again. Yes. We're so back. We're so back, chat. There we go. There we go. It didn't feel right without you guys right there. And we'll set it to all chat because that's what you want to do. You want to set it to all chat the same time you like this. You hit the like button. Holy shit. All right. So I really should find, if someone in chat knows the clip I'm talking about, the one on, oh wait, no, I think I know exactly where I can find it because it was laid back law. So I actually don't think I need someone to do that for me. If my internet works, I just need to go to YouTube for a second. Just give me a second. Give me a second. I'll read the chat at the moment while we're doing it. He's borrowing April's sweater. Well, he's got the figure for it. He's got the figure for it. Over 1,500 people watching. Let's hit that like button. Yes, we do. We need to hit that button. He has an effeminate energy, some random lady at the courthouse. Exactly. I showed you more Baldo. Please respond. That's a good one too. Come on, load. Don't know why I think I need to switch off Firefox or something. Firefox hasn't been reliable for me recently. All right, laid back law. Laid back law with Eric Hunley is what I'm trying to find. There we go. Here it is. Legal Friday from 3 days ago. Oops. There we go. And I'll just switch this into. No, maybe it's okay. Maybe it's okay. There you go. And look at that. Uncivil laws in the chat right now. Oh wait, I need next chat. I need the chat up here. There we go. There we go. All right. And this should be pretty easy to find because it's at the end of the stream. All right. What kind of internet do I have? The worst kind. The worst kind. So you've got Eric Hunley, Uncivil Law, Runkle of the Bailey. You got potentially Criminal Sean and Good Logic, aka Joe, and they've got their mega hats. The boys are having fun on Legal Friday. It's a laid back law channel where I think I've seen it once or twice, but not for quite a while. They just, invites a bunch of lawyers on and they have a bit of a giggle and they talk about what's interesting. And Runkle's always great to listen to. He's always got interesting stories. And I believe he's a Canadian lawyer, so he's already in Canada. But you can see there's a super chat is about to pop up in the chat. And throughout this entire chat, I'm not sure if actually we get back, maybe we can see it. Once I hit play, maybe it'll start bringing it up. Basically, there we go. So Nick started joining the chat and he started arguing with Sean live on air. And I think I got a copy of some of these ones. Let me see. Let me see if I have this for a second. I think it was this one. Yeah, I think this was an excerpt from the chat. So we can see here that Nick has been interacting with the people and he says, Chrissy L rather says, have missed you on some of your great trials. Looking forward to when things are better and you're back. And Jake Wall says, I'm sorry, I didn't get the joke. Must be because I don't own your mirror. Nick responds to AG Biochemist. You should know an 8-year-old isn't a regular cocaine user. Well, that's true because cocaine users, they typically don't do cocaine, which is what's so ridiculous about your own house. Why don't you DM me? You seem angry. This is a trap. Don't DM him. He wants you to bring you into his own corner where he thinks he has control and he can try and manipulate you and gaslight you. But you can see Sean is in the chat there and he said, does Melton know that you're sending super chats to somebody else? And then Nick responds, Sean, I had a custom keyboard being sent to you that replaces the F key with Mayo, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but okay. Okay. It's a bit of a weird one. Not at this. It's not quite Denny's tier, but it's getting up there. It's getting up there. And let me see. Let me see what else. Obviously, you can go through a lot of these messages. They're not that interesting, but we're about to read the big $20 super chat, which is the most interesting. But I guess we'll go into here. All right. So this is what happens.
All right. Well, anyway, yeah, no, I'm all about the election. I do plan on trying to hook up with everyone there, but I expect to have an extended.
I'll go forward a bit.
Running very late, and hopefully we watch.
I'd like to co-stream that with you, Joe. I'm in for a co-stream.
Look at that. That sounds nice. Little Kurt and Joe crossover episode for the election. That sounds like it could be fun.
If you like a guest, that'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
You can see Sean is in chat currently, or not my chat. Sorry, the chat here.
For sure. I know Ron Coleman's supposed to be coming in, and awesome. I'm still taking some reservations, but yeah, sure, that'd be great. We'll talk after the show. So
it's like
Ian, I know that you're planning on obviously streaming.
I'm gonna take election day off just because I'm not competing with that. But what is it? I am going to be.
So the chat comes up on the stream, and I'll make this screen big for you for a second. So Nick has sent, and at first I thought this was a fake one because you don't see the tick there. But if you look in the chat, that's Eric Hunley's chat, not my chat. It should be. It was loaded before, but this is actually the right one. It just, for some reason, when you bring it up on StreamYard, it didn't show the tick. But it is a verified. This is not an impersonator. It's not Sean pretending to be Nick. Nothing like that. But he says to the panel for $20, "Sup, Eric? Sup, Snake, aka Kurt? Sup, Snake, aka Nat, who isn't in the panel. I don't think that Nate was on this entire show, so it's weird to call out Nate the lawyer. Oh no, Nate was on the law. Okay, no, Nate was here. Sorry, I apologize, but he wasn't on the panel when Nick sent through this. I guess it took him 5 minutes to craft this super chat, but Nate dipped out before this came through. So very sad. Sup, Beluga, in reference to, I assume, Sean. I guess he could be talking to somebody else. Sup, Joe. Sup, Runkle of the Keen Eyes. I miss 4 of you. 3 of you are pathetic. Now, the funny thing that happens here, is that Eric Hunley. So he saw the $20 super chat. He saw Nick Rekieta. He's like, oh, it's my boy. It's my boy. He hasn't been on the show in a while. Let's bring up his super chat. He doesn't read it and he hides it really quickly because he's like, I don't want any of this drama. Just stay the fuck away. Well, he's like, whoa, better hide this. So it's very, very unfortunate he didn't get to read it.
Nick, what's up, man?
See, he's like, oh, hey, Nick, what's up, man?
Oh, hey. I'm going to be covering the.
Then he's like, wait a minute. He's like, wait a minute. That's
Cody
not a good
Wilson
super
thing.
chat.
He's the guy that Sean was mentioning. The guy who is. He's basically been.
It's like reading through. He's like, what the fuck is going on here? He probably isn't even aware of any of these people hate each other.
Stealing.
But he's just like, we're just gonna get rid. Do you see that eye? Do you see the eye twitch? Wait, look at his eyes. Look at his eyes as he goes like this.
He's basically been accused of stealing in the most hilarious.
He's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Don't bring this drama into my house. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my goodness. Looks like Joe got a bit of a giggle. Joe's got a bit of a smile. Sean's got his little smug face on. Sean really reminds me of the smug cat. You know, the one with the knives around it. Let me see if I've got that. Smug cat. Knives. This is the face. This is the face that Sean has right now in this moment. In this moment, this is Sean. Oh dear.
Hilariously dumb way.
There we go.
Copyrighted firearm designs. And when I say in the most hilariously dumb way, essentially,
I'm gonna have a quick
put
look
out
at the
like
chat
a
here.
giant cartoon X with an anvil
Let's see what
over
people are
it.
saying.
And
I like this chat in here. Awakening Ye, Big Orange Man, Suffer Baldo Man. We miss you, Nick. The duality of chat. The duality.
like set the 3D printed
Yes,
plans
he
under
did.
it, and Cody Wilson
You
walks.
see, like Sean's being professional. Sean's a good boy. He's a good boy. He's a remaining professional. He's been called out. He keeps his cool under pressure and keeps going on while also trolling Nick in the chat live, but not bringing it to Eric Hunley. And that's what you do. You don't bring drama to your friend's house. Have drama at your own house. It's like drugs. Don't bring them to your friend's house like Nick did to his friend Aaron, who he misses very dearly. But very funny. Sean's quick on his feet for such a sandwich enjoying person with his responses. Oh dear. Let me see what we got. What is this? I have this clip loaded up, but I'm not sure what it was for. All right, we'll play it through. It's like 40 seconds. Let's see what this one's about. Sometimes I get away with things. Not get away with things. Sometimes things get away from me while I'm trying to use them for talking points. But let's see. This is it just says I did a fucking mountain of cocaine. Let's see what it says.
I am not. I don't do the cocaine. Right. Never tried it.
Hit those X's in the chat. Oh dear. The question was he doing cocaine in the beginning? We don't know. We just don't know.
I think it's very dangerous for me. I'd probably overdose immediately. My nose is very sensitive. It is a national treasure. I don't do that stuff. But I know plenty of people who have.
He's got to protect the nose. Like it's shocking to me how young he looks in these clips. And I know they're a couple of years old, but like he's speed running. He's speed running degeneracy. At least he was until the government told him no.
Delved into all kinds of illicit substances, and they tell me that there's the drip with cocaine, and it depends on the quality of the coke. But as that stuff hits the back of your sinus area with and kind of mingles with the mucus, there's like a drip of stuff that hits the back of your.
It sounds honestly like awful. I don't understand it. And apparently like coke wears off in like 15 minutes or something, 15, 20 minutes or something. But is he speaking from experience here? I wonder if he'd done it at this point.
Tongue, I guess, and down into your throat. Disgusting to me. It's horrifying to me. Like that whole describing that process makes me want to vomit. But yeah.
This man went on to go through the massivest, one of the biggest benders in Minnesota, at least in Spicer history, I assume. There was something really funny. Again, we didn't really cover it on my streams, but I saw other people talk about it. But Nick is such an outlier for this type of offense that he actually affected the curve of like arrests So it's like he's like 25% of the statistics in his county now, and it's well outside of his demographics. It's just like even the cops and himself commented on this, that he's not the typical person that gets like snapped for this shit, but he actually he's an hour part of the statistics. It's very funny. It's very funny. Yeah, exactly. Despite making up such a small shit. He's more than 13%. Isn't he like responsible for like 20% of the offenses or something in his county now? Which is hilarious. It was very, very funny. All right, now we'll kind of go on some tangents now, but you still have a chance to like the stream. So let's see. Did we hit the goal? If we get 80 more likes, I'm gonna give 5 free memberships, month-long memberships. Hit that button. We've got 1,600 people watching. This is a big one. That's a big one, boys. Big support tonight for the stream. But we need those likes. We need to get over 800 likes. Now I know I grift for the likes, like Aaron grifts for his daily meal. This is just a hobby for me, but I have a lot of fun doing it. But you don't understand. If the likes go over certain thresholds, YouTube sends out your content more. So if you want people to know about the degeneracy, about the lies, about the gaslighting, about the cope, about the seed, you have to like the stream, because that's the only way that YouTube will send this out to people. It'll get in their like buttons, it'll get in their subscription feeds, and it'll be glorious. We've got to get more eyes on this situation as we get up towards the trial date. Of course, there will be some big streams, I assume, around November 25th, 6th, and 7th. Is probably going to be like the 3-day super show, I guess, on this, as we get into the next hearings, as well as the criminal and defamation case later in the month. In theory, there won't be much else to talk about for the rest of the month, but something tells me that he's on the verge. He's on the verge of another breakdown. All right, now I wanted to show you this. Hold on. Canada pod. So Nick has been talking about the hold on. Nick was talking about sending people to Canada, and this is a terrifying fucking story. Where is it? Okay. I'm not sure if this is the right article, but this is pretty scary stuff. We're almost 2 hours into the stream, so I can talk about this probably now. It's fine. So this is the Canadian Minecraft chamber. This is what Nick is wishing for you. If you call him a Baldo on Twitter, if you ask him to look after his kids, if you ask him to pull up, he's using all of his mental power and the psychic powers he probably believes that he has from doing mushrooms or some shit. He's wishing you, he's trying to self-affirmate you to be in this pod in Canada, which is the self-deletion pod. But this is a horrifying story. Did the self-deletion pod malfunction? Strangulation marks raise alarms in Swiss. Oh, this is a Swiss case. I thought this was America. I thought this was Canada. Well, these are the pods that they're using, I think, in Canada. But I guess this happened in Switzerland. The first recorded case of a woman using the controversial deletion pod in Switzerland has ignited an intense scrutiny and speculation following unexpected findings. An autopsy report uncovered strangulation marks on the 64-year-old woman's neck, American woman's neck. Oh my goodness! You know what? I know. I'll tell you exactly what happened here. Is she saw the way that the polls were going, and she was like, "I'm out. I'm out." She couldn't bear. She was so vexed by Trump derangement syndrome that she had to go to Switzerland to self remove her from the gene pool, I guess. It seems like a long way to go. I would just take a holiday instead. That's the real talk. If you're feeling depressed, go on a holiday and you'll feel much better. Now, obviously, people in depressed situations aren't going to make rational choices, and they may not have the finances available to do something, is why they'll go on a holiday. But you know what it is. Like, it can always get better. It can always get better is what I'm saying. Have a giggle, try and make some friends, reach out to your family. There's someone that'll listen to you, and it can get better. But anyway, raising disturbing questions about her case of death is prompting Swiss authorities to explore the possibility of intentional homicide, according to the Dutch newspaper Die Volkskrant. The woman, who identity remains undisclosed, passed away on September 23rd in a remote forest near Mauthausen, a secluded village close to the German border. Designed by Dr. Philip Nitschke, founder of the Exit International, a sarcopod was intended to allow a peaceful and controlled end-of-life experience for terminally ill patients. Users activate the pod by pressing an internal button, releasing nitrogen gas, which reportedly induces a calm, pain-free deletion within minutes. However, what should have been a serene process has turned into a mystery as Swiss authorities investigate. Dr. Florian Willett, president of the Swiss Assisted Deletion Organization, the last resort, was reportedly the only person present at the time and remains in custody as officials probe the circumstances surrounding her death. Swiss Chief Prosecutor Peter Stitcher, leading the investigation, has indicated that the incident may not have been as straightforward as intended, hinting at a potential malfunction or interference. So the people are assuming that the chamber didn't work. And they're like, well, let's just do this manually. And then they just, I guess, go at this woman or something. And they're like, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Let's just fudge the numbers. It'll be fine. She can't, like, we're expecting one body. We're going to get one body. Like, what actually happened here? Did they just straight up throttle this woman? Or is this how the pods all work? Do they just go in there and they tell you it's going to be painless? And then they just like, look, we're going to save on nitrogen gas. What the fuck? What the actual fuck happened here? So the forensic report shows neck injuries. Adding to the intrigue, forensic reports reveal significant neck injuries inconsistent with the expected outcome of using the pod. The revelation, oh my goodness, I'm a real brainlet tonight. It's those brainworms I got at, well, not at Stoney's. You won't get any brainworms at Stoney's, only good times to be had there. But the brainworms from Australia. This revelation has raised questions about possible foul play or tragic malfunction. Further investigations disclose that the pod has been opened and closed multiple times prior to initiating the process, potentially to check its seal. In a court hearing, a forensic expert testified that this woman's neck injuries were severe, fueling further doubts about the events leading up to her death. Surveillance footage captured by 2 cameras, one inside the pod, trained on the control button, and another positioned at a tree nearby, revealed unusual activity. The doctor, or actually, the Dutch publication, which reviewed the footage, noted that the internal camera was triggered twice in quick succession, shortly after the woman pressed the button. However, due to the angle, the recording does not clearly show what happened during those crucial moments. She really looks dead. During the police questioning, Dr. Willett reportedly stated that 2.5 minutes after the procedure began, the woman appeared to experience severe muscle cramping. The reaction he described as common in nitrogen-induced deaths. A loud alarm activated by the pod's iPad. I wonder if this is a loud alarm activated by the pod's iPad 6.5 minutes into the procedure led Dr. Willett to exclaim, "She's still alive, Philip!" During the call with Dr. Nishk. 30 minutes later, Dr. Willett reportedly confirmed she looks really dead. Despite the details emerging through this media process, Swiss authorities have refrained from issuing any public information, and the prosecutor's office has remained tight-lipped about the ongoing investigation. Oh, buddy, what the fuck happened here? Is this like, I don't trust these Swiss scientists with their kill chambers. I think that they're just like sadistic people, and they lure you in here. It's like a promise of a painless death, but then they actually just beat the shit out of you or something. And it's like, they're recording her. It's like literally, it's like a snuff film machine. It's like they generate. Holy shit! This is a fucking dark. What a world! What a world we live in. Stephen Cooper with the 2 says he hit the goal of 1 success, and 225 says always read the small print on your self-deletion pod paperwork. Example: once secured in the pod, death may not be nitrogen only. Oof, that's a big oof. Did we hit the goal, chat? Oh, we hit the fucking goal. Look at that. We hit it, chat. We hit it, which means you're getting 5 free memberships. Gift now. Look at that. There you go. You got to be active in the chat. You got to be subscribed. You got to say something in chat. Say please me, and maybe click on the button. I don't know how it works, but YouTube gifts them out. There you go. Hope you guys enjoy that. We hit the goal of 800 likes on this stream. Much appreciated. We did it, boys. We did it, boys. Now, as we wind down on the topics, I kind of want to take a look at the election news, but I don't think that all of the. Well, actually, let's put this back on screen. There we go. There we go. When are the results coming out? Can somebody tell me? Because I was like looking today. I was like, oh shit, I thought it'd be today, but it's not. Because I was going to do my own election stream, but no, I guess I won't have time. What time is it right now in New York? Time in New York. So I guess the polls are open now. Oh, it's 9:24. Okay. So I guess results will be coming out throughout the day. All right. I was hoping we'd get some already. I want to see the map. Is there any good like automated maps, like where the Not like Melton, but you know, the type that where they like fill in the colors as we go along. I like those ones. The ones where you can like see the results coming in. They had that last year. Look for tomorrow. Tomorrow, election day is tomorrow. Okay, so we're gonna have to wait again, I guess. Shit, man, I remember it was the last election. The coping and seething of look, 2016. That was a fun day. That was a fun day. That's back when I was working in an office, and seeing the cope come out throughout the day was amazing. Not so much for my coworkers because they're Japanese and they didn't really give a shit, but like the cope coming through the other people that were in Japan at the same time was so funny. It was so funny. The salt mining was superb. It was excellent. And then I remember where I was in the 2020 election. I was driving through the countryside of Japan towards Gujo Hachiman, a very beautiful little mountain town where the fish swim through the streets. Very beautiful, very gorgeous. I love Gujo Hachiman. Gifu in general is a very beautiful part of Japan. But I remember watching the streams. Actually, I was watching Nick's stream with Ty Beard. And Ty Beard said, like, there's no way Trump can lose now. So I guess it was another L for Ty. Very disappointing. Very, very disappointing indeed. He was wrong about everything. And he was bad at notarizing. Very sad. Everyone makes mistakes, though. But now Vic has, like, what, a $600,000 fee to pay? It's a pretty fucking big mistake. Def Otter gifted another 5. Match me. You matched me. Gifted 5 memberships. Big support from the stream tonight. Stephen Cooper with the 2 says, do you think someone yelled World Star? I can only hope so. I only hope so. And George Ross G with another 5 says, the nitrogen doesn't delete you. It just lulls you so you can't fight back. Is that how it works? I thought you could die from nitrogen poisoning. Right. The thing is, like, I probably shouldn't talk about this, actually. Because YouTube is like CO2, but basically CO2. Wait, no. Is that how it works? Doesn't CO2 make you like go crazy because you feel like CO2 induces the feeling of having no air? So when you like hold your breath and you start to want to breathe, the CO2 building up in your bloodstream is what makes you go crazy and go like, man, I need to breathe again. And nitrogen doesn't do that, even though like nitrogen is what, like 60% of our atmosphere. I don't know how it works. I'm not a scientist, but I'm definitely not one of these Swiss murder pod suicide scientists either. Is that how it works? I thought it was hypoxia. Is that what it is? I don't know. I want to see some results of the election. I want to see some cope. I want to see some seething. As we know. Oh, hold on. You know what? We didn't even put on the ceiling cats. There we go. Oh, they're late addition to the stream. Late addition to the stream. No, it's CO. It's carbon monoxide. No, CO2 will straight up stealthily. I don't know. I know, but where is that damn clip? This one.
Watching the cope. Watching the cope is always awesome. I love watching the cope. I do. I enjoy watching the cope.
I'm looking forward to the cope today and tomorrow. Kurt sighting. Yeah, Kurt's in chat. I think Kurt watches a bunch of these streams. Echo. Yeah, well, I can't help it. It's a bit of a scuff stream tonight. It is what it is. It is what it is, guys. Let me go check through my thing. I think we covered most of the topics I wanted to do tonight, but there may be something else. Oh, here it is. Here's the. I did have a copy of this. Oh, there you go. Look at that. The effeminate pose. The effeminate pose caught in 180p. The effeminate posing neck. Oh my goodness. He's worm maxing in this one as well. Look at that S curve. Holy shit. He's getting good. I don't think anyone's going to top this, chat. Holy soy. Oh my goodness. Oh my, that's just the perfect. Zesty. It's zesty. CO2 is car exhaust. Isn't it? No, wait, yeah. I thought carbon monoxide. I don't know. I thought CO2 is carbon dioxide, right? I thought carbon monoxide was what comes out of a car's exhaust. Isn't that not the case? Isn't it monoxide poisoning? A lot of zesties in the chat. I don't know. I don't know if I should trust you guys. CO2. No, what? Is it? Isn't just CO2 carbon dioxide? I don't know. I obviously didn't go to. I mean, I hear the jury's still out on science. CO is a thing. Okay. Oh my goodness! And now I'm really embarrassing myself. How disaster! What a disaster! I should go to Stoney's. I think that's the only thing for me. Oh, okay. So Max has got some nice chats up. Is there any election streams going now? I know the casino's doing one later, but I think that won't be for a while. Anyway, guys. I think we've kept it going just long enough. I'm gonna go post a new members invite on the chat, not on the chat, on the community tab. You go to the community tab of my channel. All members, if you're a member, you'll be able to see a link that'll invite you to the Discord. If you want to join the Discord and maybe hang out with people and post some memes, and also good for keeping updates of when the stream goes live because it notifies you all. We'll be back in a few days' time. I'm taking a boat tomorrow, and I won't be back until the 10th. So it's not impossible. You'll see me somewhere else. In fact, you're almost guaranteed to see me on somebody else's stream. But I guess you're going to have to guess who it is. I don't know who. I don't know. I don't know how many people live in South Korea. Who can guess? Who can guess where I'll be at some point? So that'll be fun. That'll be fun. And if there's any updates or things you want to talk about, be sure to link them in the chat or Twitter, email things. And we'll do some non-next shows coming up very soon. We do still need to go some what are they? What are they called again? Shit. Dustborn. We got to finish Dustborn. But that will be another night. Stay safe out there, chat. Look after your family. We're getting close to Thanksgiving, so maybe call your parents, tell them that you're going to show up. Bring them those beans or potatoes or whatever. Hope you enjoyed Halloween. I had a great Halloween, and shit, I've still got to post my Halloween videos. I forgot about that. Maybe I'll go work on that right now. All right, guys, stay safe. Peace and cheers. Bye.